Artificial intelligence is the new frontier, and there's been so many breakthroughs with AI and ML technology. But what does this mean for identity? We are with SailPoint's principal data scientist, Mo Badawy, who's going to kind of walk us through what kind of new innovations he's been following with AI and ML and what this means for identity. So Mo, can you tell me what breakthroughs in artificial intelligence and machine learning have you been following recently?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Natalie, and glad to be here. Um, to answer the question, I think most recent breakthrough, I mean, it doesn't, not a day passes by without hearing about a crucial development in AI or something new that opens the door for multitude of applications. So what we are currently doing here at SailPoint, our data science team is utilizing some of the latest developments in natural language processing and natural language understanding to try to make our applications, our SailPoint applications, users' experience like much better. So to improve user experience, one way to do that is to make our applications as easy as the apps that you have on your phone. So there is no, it's 2020, there is no kind of like reason that professional enterprise applications need to be much harder. I mean, now in the mainstream, you have Alexa, you have the virtual assistants, like Alexa, Microsoft has their own, Google has their own Google Assistant. So with all these kind of virtual assistant technology, chatbot technology, and natural language understanding technology, it can be much easier to utilize an app or to use very advanced features on an app without having to spend a lot of resources and a lot of time to train the users on like convoluted languages or very complex syntax that you have to learn only for this particular app. So this is something that data science team is looking into recently, and I think it's going to have an impact on the end user, which is something that we are really proud of at the data science team. Thank you.
When we spoke a few days ago, you talked about how a lot of this technology is to try to make our customers' lives easier, is to automate a lot of these tasks. So what kind of automation do we currently have in place with SailPoint Predictive Identity to make the lives of our customers a little bit easier when it comes to managing identities?
Well, automation is one of our goals. So, I mean, one of the reasons AI and ML is kind of not an option or not optional in our case is because it enables us to achieve more automation. And more automation in the software means much less work on the user's end. So, I mean, for our first foray into AI and ML was the peer group use case. And that was being automated like every night that it would run, and the results would refresh so that the users every day will have like a more up-to-date output on how to figure out what's the peer group of a particular group of people, group of identities, and how to utilize that and so forth, and the corresponding analytics coming out of that. More advanced, we have the automation that this is actually currently being implemented. One of the things planned for this year, hopefully, is to automate the work that the user would need to maintain roles. So when it comes to roles and as part of access modeling is really, really important and probably the core of any access modeling or access governance software. So not only you need to sometimes to discover new roles that you need to provision, but in most cases, actually, what we've seen from our customers is that they already have a multitude of existing roles that they have provisions like maybe months or years back, and they don't really know whether these roles make sense today or not. So they need to go and make these kind of checks, and currently they actually do it on a manual basis. So it takes a lot of man hours. What we are proposing is that there are much easier ways and much more effective ways to automate the role management part. Something that's already in production, I think the certification recommender is one such use case where we automate the approval process, or at least in the least automate the recommendation for it. So if you're a manager and you have a certification campaign, this means that you have to approve or deny. You have to think about it. It takes a human judgment to actually say, oh, this should not be the case anymore. This identity should not have this access any longer. So then you need to revoke, or otherwise you need to approve. So this takes a lot of time and resources from managers, and of course that will impact on productivity. With this tool, the manager will see a recommendation next to each identity and entitlement. So for each certification item, the manager will see, the manager or the entitlement owner or the role owner will get a recommendation from our AI backend, basically recommended the proper action. So that could actually save a lot of man hours, a lot of resources, especially when it comes to the non-privileged access that actually need to be either approved on a regular basis or revoked on regular basis. So,
that's incredible. Saving man hours is something that a lot of IT teams are looking to do because there's only 24 hours in a day. You need to automate some of these tasks in order to get it all done.
Of
so
course.
We appreciate you. Yes, we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for explaining this all to us. I know it's going to make a lot of people happy to hear what SailPoint has in store for automating these tasks, what we're already doing to automate. So be on the lookout for other videos from our data science team with Identity Talks. I'm Natalie Reyna. Thank you.
Thank you so much.